Hi, Libra. Let's get into your reading even more. Oh my God, I know, right? It's just like, how? Well, the benefit of this is what's been blocking the ability to really process through your psyche. So it's not going to be as hard on your body anymore, because that is the connection here. It is my opinion, but it's also the connection in the reading. But I also am open. That doesn't block my way of reading, if that's what you're wondering. It's not what I am here to do. So you may feel an opening in your heart, an opening in your lungs for those of you who have had, you know, maybe some chronic pain, maybe even in the rib cage, right? Either you are now experiencing a time where you get to decide. And I think I kind of like these cards next to each other. You're seeing who you really are. You're making decisions based off of that. You're seeing life in that way. And you've noticed what has been the control and who and what has been the gatekeeper, what experience in life, helping you see beyond and see your ideas through, why certain things have fell through, why certain ways on certain people work and certain ways on others don't. Because, all right, this is like a specific axis, so I'm going to speak to that for a moment after we get through this, intuitive part. Speaking of speaking, you have the Empress here. This is another Taurus, the throat, Hierophant, the throat. So speaking up for yourself is a really big part of your healing process and being who you are and resting in who you are. I'm sorry for all of this movement. I'm so sorry about that. So sorry. Okay, we're good. And what it's doing is it's emptying out. It's emptying out your ability to maybe make excuses for yourself or give yourself reasons not to go. There's something here, maybe a power dynamic for some of you that you are becoming very, if it hasn't been obvious, it's becoming extremely obvious to you at this point. For Libra risings, Scorpio would be in your second house of your resources. So this could be about leaving behind a place that ultimately is where your resources, you're changing a job, a position, perhaps. Maybe this is for better, right? It may feel like a risk, but it's for better. It's your second and your 8th house, which is also helping your mental health. And this may not feel like it at first, but you're flushing out something within you. So from your heart, Leo, to this card where it's clarifying justice, your card is a detoxing of your heart, which is what I've been calling a heart detox. And the way it comes up, and it either goes down and out or up and out, right? So if you've been working through stabilizing yourself, it's going to come up and out eventually of you. You are going to come up and out of you. And this is a balancing of the mind and the heart. And once Mercury enters Libra, you're going to feel this in a way that is extremely powerful, but that won't be until Virgo season, so we'll save that for then, because we have enough right here. unless it comes up. For sure. Yeah, so this lighting up for Libra rising is the 2nd and the 9th house. The 2nd and the 8th house is definitely resources. And how that equates to the transformation that you're going through as well. For those of you who have Aquarius, would be the 5th house. So that could be children too, and that could be what's transforming your life and creating this shift within the home for some of you. Because that would be the 5th and the 11th house. So how that's changing the way you're perceived in the world, the way you're relating to people, the communities that you're in. This could be a birth of something different, of something new, which also transforms that and allows something to be processed within you. This makes sense here now even more. where whatever's being, you had this like this, sorry. It's quickly moving through you. The more you can emotionally understand, the more you can find that compassion here through the control, letting go, realizing that you are safe within this space, which is in a way naturally why you feel as though you can speak up, because it comes from a feeling of safety within yourself and within your surroundings, because that's how sensitive you can be. You're also seeing how your creativity perhaps is completely transforming your life and your skills. The more that you let go of this control dynamic, this power dynamic, this situation, whether it's internally or externally or both, you're able to flush out what has been the ego part, what's been holding you back, what's been consistently revealing that it's not, you know, they are who they say they are. Wow, would you look at that? They are who they say they are, or you've been trying to find a way out of something. So there's a few situations here that I would like to acknowledge. A few situations here. So if this is one person, and this could just be the different situations and scenarios going off in your brain when you feel unsafe, or when, you could be just like your default. Remember, like, you're not just defaulting anymore. This is about taking back your power, taking back your control, setting the line, setting the tone, understanding your role, what that looks like, and how you're moving about that in your life now. And how this relaxed nature is what's falling over you, and what moves on because of that, what those attachments are, and why they need to go through a deep transformation in order to emotionally prepare you for the different things that could happen. For some of you, you just don't want to see what the person's become in front of you, because you're not, like, the more that you're revealed, you can really see them for who they are, and knowing that this is a part, like, the page is going to be a part of the growth. Like, no one's always in this neutralized, stable place. You're also noticing what your idea of masculinity, security, safety, emotional safety was and is, and that could be getting triggered at this time, or you could be really seeing clearly how much this is for you, how deepening this relationship can be. You know, this could transform your whole way of relating to people in your life in a way that's maybe been needed. But it's all happening now. Whether it's for the whether it's negative or positive result, it's positive for you because you're doing it for you, because something's been weighing on you perhaps for some of you. And this could be a person who says he's this, but is really this, and is holding on to something themselves, and you're now both at a point where things have to be decided, perhaps. It's not about ultimatums, it's just about being black and white about how you're proceeding forward, whether it's to be gray about it too, right? So it's like even that for us, it's like, even if that's to be like a little gray about this, to figure this out as we go. But you're now seeing really how the masculine is being tended to within you, within how that affects your relationships around you, how that has influenced your ability to create or lack thereof, right? This creating your life and creating in your life is deeply affecting you. If you can create right now, it'll be one of the best things for you, especially if it's to write something. And especially if that has to do with your way of life and how that's shifting and what that looks like. And how maybe it stems from different natures, whether it's spirituality or dogma. Your purpose is arising through this time. It's opening your eyes to this because you've been able to not only remother, but nurture it's not just about the mothering part, it's the nurturing yourself too. You're able to go on this ride of understanding, and your community is changing, right? The way you relate to people is changing, depending on your chart. I think I said Leo was in the 10th. It's in the 11th. Me apologies. So sorry. I have a hard time doing all of that at once. It's not my forte, but that's okay. But I still mentioned that too, because it is a part of it as well. But your career, your public life, this is gonna reshape it anyway, and it came out anyway, so I think that's just the intuitive in me. But you're moving internally more than anything, because you're seeing the fertile ground of when your subconscious is really ready to surrender. And I feel like that's the very spiritual, magical, woo-woo way to say, like, you really are learning to surrender and let this path take you for a ride, to be guided, you know, because you've been masking that. So you didn't have a chance to be guided. You've been an arm's length away, and now you have the ability to be so good to yourself. The Page of Pentacles is like an act of love, is what I've been calling all the things for that for someone could seem superficial, but for some of us it's a deep act of love. And this is a deep act of love, of the ability to give and receive without expectation, and how it's going to shape your mind and where you put that, and how it shapes how you feel about yourself and your worth, right, is shifting. Your worth, second house, going through a transformation. This, gorgeous for Libra risings. This is your 12th house, your subconscious, shifting. Virgo on the 12th. We're about to enter Virgo season, preparing you. How beautiful. Virgo season comes in and it's preparing you for the healing in the mind and how that relates to who you are and the connection and the worth you bring to the world, and how now that you can see it clear, you're able to have a healthier relationship with how this affects you, how you heal from whatever comes up from here on out, and how that affects the way you think about yourself, the way you feel about yourself, the way you digest it. You know, this could also be a from Cancer season has given you the opportunity, again, always wanting to get closer, the opportunity to get closer to this part of yourself, to give you this sacred space, safe, sacred space to deeply, to stomach what you need to stomach, the decisions you've made, the person you're becoming, and how you now want to be so a part of it that you need to let go of a lot. Emotionally first, but then mentally it was that. Usually it's the opposite for people, but your mind really needed time to feel safe enough to acknowledge and accept how you've become this way, and then how to give yourself what you need, because it wasn't alone. And if you're looking for revenge, you of course can use your energy for that now, but why interrupt such a beautiful transformation? There may be a Virgo in your life or someone in your life who really gives you also the ability to receive yourself, to be free, to see how worthy you really are. Virgo season will begin to show you. Mercury is in Virgo retrograde. Virgo retrograde may do very well for you. It may give you the exact excuse that everybody else actually needs to digest the mind and what's been going through it. And if not, people will, be forced to. Be careful of your extremities, your phalanges, your nervous system. Your nervous system, it's time to rest assured. To these earth signs are like, rest and receive. Rest and receive. And you're like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? Like, I don't know. Are you? Right? Are you? Maybe it's time that you listen to yourself first and you connect deeply to that part of you and that light that maybe you've been scared of, even though everyone else is a moth to a flame to it. Now that you can feel that light and how you control, how you receive, how you give, where you give from, not lack, but generosity, from a place of understanding what has had power over you because you wanted power over it. Funny how that works. Maybe a father figure, specifically a Capricorn or Sagittarius. The full circle is about what you choose not to receive anymore. Whether you want to explain yourself or not, explaining yourself may help some people who really don't know, of course. But for those who do, though, you know, be easy on them. And instead of doubt, try certainty. Don't create more than you need to create, because everything that needs to go will. You know, situations that you thought that you were winning start to crumble, and, you know, technically that could be a win-win or a lose for anybody. Saturn, the day-to-day in retrograde, in your 6th house of work, and then Sag, the 3rd house for Libra risings. So the way you communicate with work and on your day-to-day may even be shifting. But most of all, I think it's just you realizing that you are healing perhaps deep codependency and addiction by being able to be very honest with your needs and find that to be the most beautiful and inspiring thing that you can do. How so cute and cliche of us, but really, and intelligent. It's nature's intelligence. Learning to be with that, to feel that through, and to enjoy the experience rather needing a solution, but being with what is. It's not practical for everyone, but this is not about practicality right now, because that's changing too. So you are naturally always thinking ahead, so I'm getting there with you. Okay? We'll see you soon.